Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, as if you've been living under a rock, we're heading in towards Pro League playoffs just tomorrow, and it's all getting quite exciting back in kind of the arena in front of people, which is what we were wanting. Of course, first two stages of Pro League were online, which was a bit of a shame in a sense, but at the same time as well, now we go in towards the arena in front of the crowd, and that's what it's all about. And we'll jump straight into the action. We'll start by just having a quick look at stage 2. I was also working stage 2 as well, for those who also missed it. I casted stage 1 and stage 2 of Pro League, and I got to catch quite a lot of these sides as well coming all the way through. So there's a few bits I can talk about as well. Miles and Spirit, the absolute dead set clear favourites at the moment. They just look so comfortable, so clean. Miles were basically already coming in towards this tournament, especially with kind of like a few of those big names missing, right? Miles, without a doubt, was sort of like, this is kind of like their tournament to lose, essentially. Like, they're in a really good spot. They're the most consistent, they're the most comfortable at the moment. They've already won a bunch of Pro Leagues. Well, I think I'm right in saying it's 4 Pro Leagues, recently. So you come in towards this sort of a tournament, for me, Miles, and they will be heading in towards the playoffs, clear favourites. Now, worth mentioning that, of course, when it comes to land environments, of course, they can struggle a little bit, but generally speaking, I probably value them as my number one, especially after stage 2 as well. 3-0, same for Spirit as well, but Spirit can just brute force their way through all of these games, where Miles look pretty clean as a whole. Mongols I'm actually quite impressed with because they've looked a little shaky, but it really feels like Crowbazer is finally starting to find his comfort individually. Legacy, they look excellent. Dumal's really effective. Lato's playing some nice Counter-Strike as well. I think Nissim's a fantastic anchor. And ultimately, Art, man. Art is playing great CS. He's calling a great game. He looks so wild in the CS that they're playing. I cast that an RV game, and it was some balls to the wall call, which is what you expect out of somebody like Art, but it was fun. It was exciting. This Legacy team, I actually think they might even level up when it comes towards the land environment too. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how they perform. I think they could be a little bit of a dark horse for me, if I'm being honest. Aurora, despite the 3-1, I'm still not super convinced, but I still think that win over G2 is really valuable. So definitely take that into mind as well. Na'Vi, really not convinced at all by this side. They're in a bit of a shaky spot. And then Foot and Astralis. This kind of feels about right for Foot and Astralis in a sense. Maybe obviously Legacy I think are overperforming compared to rankings. For Foot and Astralis, getting into playoffs is really good. But at the same time, you look at G2, I think squandered a big chance coming in towards this one. Credit to Foot, but G2 definitely fumbled. And Fury as well. I mean, it started bad for Fury. They lost to Bait in the opening game, which never should happen. Then they lose to 3D Max as well. They start on the 0-2 bracket and had to move their way up. They get to 2-2, then they lose to Astralis. And Astralis did look really good, especially on towards that Inferno as well. So that is how stage 2 panned out. And this is how our bracket looks now for the playoffs. All quite exciting. Astralis taking on Spirit for the first game. Or on the top of the bracket. It's not actually the first game. The first game is actually going to be the Mongols Na'Vi. Then it's Legacy Aurora. Then of course, I've got Mouse Foot. And then we finish off with Astralis Spirit. But from top to bottom, Astralis Spirit, that one is actually, I feel like, a little bit more difficult to call. But for me, I would be going in the region of a Spirit here. You actually can do this sort of pick'em thing. So I'll be going Spirit for that one. Legacy Aurora, I'm going to curveball it. I'm going to go Legacy for that one. I actually do have a bit of belief in this Legacy side. That could be kind of interesting. Mongols, Na'Vi, I'm going to go Mongols. I feel like Mongols actually do look pretty good at the moment. But Na'Vi, I do think can level up a bit more in towards LAN. I'm still not convinced about Crowbazer in a LAN environment. But at the same time, I think they played really good in towards stage 2. So I'm going to go with them. And then for me, Mao's pretty cleanly. Back to the top. I hate to say it, but I think Spirit take it. But I actually would kind of like to see Legacy go through. And then for this one, I think it's Mao's. And in the end, I think Mao's are going to take it. That's what I'm going for my pick'ems. Third place would, of course, be Mongols Legacy. Fuck it, I'm going to go Legacy. That'd be kind of cool. Mao's 1, Spirit 2, Legacy 3. That would be kind of a vibe. We'll see how that pans out. But I'm not super convinced. But at the same time, for me, it really just feels like this is destined and set up for a Mao Spirit final. They look like the only two really properly comfortable teams here. Legacy are still fallible. Aurora are still fallible. Astralis are not really consistent yet, but they're better than they have been for a while. Foot, LAN inexperience, it doesn't make me super confident for them. Despite being kind of good, it took a while for Demon to warm up. The first stage, they relied so heavily on Krebeni, which you can't really always do, especially because he's your IGL. Symmetry's still a little bit iffy as an AWPer, so you look at those things. Na'Vi, for their standards, look pretty woeful. I'm really not convinced by Na'Vi at all. Not only in the calling department, but also the firepower department too. And then we go towards the Mongols, where it's like, the Mongols are playing better than they have for large portions of the year, but it is still that thing with the Mongols where it's like, I'm not super convinced about this side just yet with Cobra's era. It's obviously quite a big thing losing Senzu, and I still think they're slightly reeling from it. But with that being said, we're going towards the fancy. This is what I'm going to go for fancy. I'm going pretty heavy here on Donk, essentially just doing his own thing. I think this is kind of like set up for Donk to put up like pretty miraculous numbers. They have a pretty good run. This feels like teams that he can really kind of like shine against. I feel like he's going to put up some mental numbers. I'm going to put him on the entry. I got Brolin on the leader role. Again, this is kind of just because I think Mao's going to win, right? So there's kind of consistent points. Multi-frag of Dumao, super impressed with him. Legacy, I've just been impressed with as a whole. So I'm going to go for double Legacy with Dumao and Lato, kind of the dynamic duo. And then I'm seeing it off with Blitz as well, just because I kind of had a bit of space and I wanted a team that's going to make it into like my proverbial sort of top 4. So Blitz was kind of the only one. It was Blitz or Techno. Techno was like one of the worst rated players at stage 2. He like, yeah, by like his standards was one of the worst rated players. So I'm not convinced. So by that reason, I'm going to go with Blitz. Either way, very, very quick little summary video, but that is what we're going for Pro League. I'm excited. Working stage 1 and stage 2 was you know, a big honor, super exciting. I really enjoyed it. And now I get to sit back and watch some lovely kind of arena action. So it should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. If you're new around here, like, subscribe, all of the good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, take care.